Welcome back, vintage gamers, to a vintage challenge. I had a real hard time picking my deck for today. I have tons of different Atraxa decks that I think they're all viable. There's an Esper one that will probably appear 2 days before this video. I have a Show and Tell Oath of Druids Omniscience list, a Show and Tell Oath of Druids No Omniscience list. But I kind of felt like people might be playing a bunch of Show and Tell Atraxa today, so I kind of wanted to not be, not be on the Show and Tell side of things. So I have a different Atraxa build, and it's one that you may remember. For a long time, the predominant Oath archetype was POath. And I never really liked the POath decks. It gave you some things, but it never felt like it was helping you in your bad matchups. I don't think that's true anymore. I do think the Oath might help you in some of PO's bad matchups, specifically things like Squee and some of these bizarre decks. And we get to finally drop Grizzlebrand, which is just a horrendous card to draw when you were playing this POath strategy. So we have a double Atraxa, PO Shell, splashing for 4 Oath of Druids and 1 Oko. I am just going to flex in a Urza Saga. I think it's pretty good with Vault Key, and I like to be able to find it off of Atraxa. I want my Atraxa to win me the game, and one of the major ways I wanted to do that is by finding Time Walk or Vault Key. So yeah, I mean, if I play more Atraxas, then I also have to play Show and Tell, and I just said I don't want to play Show and Tell. So we're going to play a kind of a leaner deck. We're going to play a PO combo deck that also has the option of doing broken Atraxa things with Oath and a single Show and Tell. Nothing crazy in the sideboard. Mono white hate, combo hate. A Sphinx. Sphinx is kind of nice with Show and Tell and Tinker and Oath of Druids, especially against the current Squee metagame. I do have a basic in the sideboard because this mana base is quite sus. Yeah, should be fun. I'm excited. Let's do it. If you'd like to see your deck played on this channel, check out the Patreon link in the description below, where you can find all the information you need to submit a donation deck list. Let's battle. Here we go. Round 1, Powerful Wizard. Yes, I know there's a light on my face. I can't do anything about it. My windows are so large. I have these beautiful blinds that do a really good job, and I don't really notice it. I know the YouTube commenters do. But do not worry, I am not blinded. We will continue. So this hand plays Mana Vault into Mystical for Tinker with Flusterstorm backup. It's probably worth keeping. Because Grizzlebrand is an activated ability. Go watch the video, Heastar. Go watch the video. Because we're not drawing. It's not an activated ability. It's a blue creature. It's just so many things. It's Vigilance. Oh, I did a whole 12-minute video. And you're telling me you haven't seen my video? It's okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. That's fine. Everything's fine. Opponent is double queuing the Modern Challenge, so they might not be as attentive here. So we're gonna be chilling, yelling at Twitch chat. No, just kidding. I would never yell at my Twitch chat. It's actually way easier to cast Atraxa than Grizzlebrand. Having 4 different colors is much easier than having 4 of the same color. Man, I hate Memory's Journey though. Not this time. I'm looking to try to do 2 4 seasons a year. And so probably trying to separate them out by 6 months. I am not so well off that I can just be flying to Italy every 3 months. I should have a Goblins video, JS. Just search for it. Should definitely be possible that I have a Goblins video. I might have 2 Goblins videos, actually. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? What is this? Huh. That is not what I expected. Does that mean we're getting Coveted Jeweled? All right, so if I were to mystical, what can I mystical for? I don't really actively have like a Hercules in my main, and I can't mystical for Oath of Druids. I do have a mana vault though, so I could cast 2 spells. So theoretically, I could go mystical for demonic, demonic for Oath. Because I don't have a Sphinx of the Steel Wind to tinker for. So I think my best plan is demonic, because I have my mana vault, so I can demonic and play an Oath, I think that's my plan. So let's cast Mystical Tutor. And we're going to go for a demonic tutor. Well, I would hope we wouldn't die through a 3-ball. Like 3-ball doesn't exactly stop my opponent from doing dual things, but it does make it harder for them to do dual things. Oh. What is happening? Okay, cool. All right, I gave my opponent a bunch of spirits, but I don't think that should matter much. And then if our Atraxa hits a Force of Will, we'll actually have 3 mana to force through a sphere, so I think we're in a good spot, actually. We'll have to see what happens here. We do probably need to hit a Force off of our Atraxa, though. Metamorph on Mana Vault. Okay. I kind of think I would have saved the Metamorph for an Atraxa, but what do I know? I'm not a Jewel Shops player. Maybe they want to have their own Force of Will backup for their next play. That could be possible. So yeah, so what I'm looking for here is an Atraxa. Obviously, I'm hitting Atraxa. Hopefully, we don't mill over too much of our deck, because we're not playing 4 Atraxas anymore. We're playing only 2. And then we're hoping to hit a Force of Will off of our Atraxa. If we do mill over a lot of our deck, it'd be nice to hit like a... Oh man, even a Yagwell's not very good when there's a 3-ball in play. Milled over something like 20 cards, including Time Walk, Black Lotus, Yagwell. Only one of the Force of Wills, so there's 3 Force of Wills in my bottom 20. I don't think I want to like Memory's Journey in response here because I need to be able to hold up Force of Will if I find it. So we didn't find Oko. We found Atraxa. We found Force of Will. We found Ruby. We found Oath. We found... How many lands does this fetch land get me? The fetch land still gets me things. And then... Sorcery? So we just missed Planeswalker, right? I don't think we're going to trigger Atraxa again. There's a good chance we die, so I think it's better to put it in our hand, but we might discard the hand size if we do that. I think it's very unlikely that I want a second Atraxa in this game. I guess if they were able to resolve a... If they resolve a Metamorph... I guess we do have a fetch to shuffle. Okay, maybe I will leave the Atraxa. We have plenty of things to pitch to Force, so that's not a huge deal. Yeah, okay. I buy it, chat. I buy it. This is a 3-turn clock, so we might have to go over a couple turns here. I cannot play a Ruby and still hold up Force, so we're just gonna have to pass here. Well, I haven't played this deck, this version of the deck yet, so I have no idea. I think all 3 of the other Atraxa decks that I've played are all... Well, I've played 4 Atraxa decks now. I think only 2 out of the 4 are on YouTube yet. And I think 3 of the 4 ones I played are totally viable. I think the Natural Order one is probably the worst. But I think that the Omniscience one's quite good. I think the one without Omniscience is quite good. The Reanimator one was really bad. I guess this is 5. Maybe I've only streamed 4, but I have 5. And I thought that the Esper one is pretty good as well. Okay, it looks like my opponent maybe has given up here, and they're just trying to see more of my deck. I am not going to throw this over. There's any reason to do that. I guess I should fetch so that I make sure I don't draw through my lands here. I guess I still have two lands I can still get. I have to be careful with this mana base. There's 4 fetches and 4 non-basics that I can fetch for. If we draw a land, we can play a Moxen. Improve our mana situation slightly. And then on that next turn, we can have double Force of Will. We also probably want to shuffle our Force of Will back so we have a chance to draw the second Force of Will. No, I would not like to trigger the Oath of Druids. Please and thank you. It's kind of sad because in the other versions of Oath that we recently played, I would just trigger and get another million cards, but something I didn't put into this deck, like I put into a lot of the other decks, is the other decks play like tons of like Nature's Claims and Force of Vigors. I don't have that in this version. I don't think it's necessary, but I am skimping on Hercules quite a lot. Though my opponent's not exactly a true shops deck, I believe it's likely that they are on Jewel. But I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure which kind of shops they're on still. Oh, nice draw. Probably one of my better draws. Force being the best. I guess theoretically they could force this, and then I wouldn't be able to force on their turn, but then they could just force on their turn. So it wouldn't really matter. Because they'd have to use the Mana Vault. They can't use the Workshop, so. Yeah, we certainly would have murdered our opponent a bit earlier here if they didn't have a Trinisphere. Probably would have just put the Atraxa on the bottom, triggered a second Atraxa, Memory's Journey to Yogwill to the top, or to inside the library, and then gone for a Yogwill kill from the graveyard. I guess it's really hard for me to do a Yogwill kill from the graveyard. Just kind of Vault Key, I guess. The one thing I didn't include in this list that POath lists have included in the past is a Storm kill. PO in the past would play Tendrils. I've also played Brain Freeze. Just didn't really want to. I really hate those cards. I try not to play them if possible. Try to keep my win conditions low. It does make things sometimes harder, but my opponent can technically be Jewel Shops or Blue Shops. Both of those are still possible. I mean, if they're on Jewel Shops, then I think it's a fine choice. Jewel Shops seems really strong, though it's pretty bad into Squee. So there is this next Metamorph. We'll see if they have a forcible backup on their Metamorph here. Game certainly gets more difficult if they resolve this Metamorph. Our Oko is in our yard as well, so I would have to Memory's Journey it back into my deck. Nope, no force. Okay. They could still have a third Metamorph, I guess. Do I want to Memory's Journey here? I can Memory's Journey 2 Force of Wills and an Oko into my deck. Kind of think that makes a lot of sense, actually. Of course, I guess Time Walk is also good, so maybe I can just do Force Time Walk and Oko. Atraxa is one of every type. Wow. It's so loud. Why is that so loud? Oh, I was watching Kane, that's why. Hey, look at that. Nice play, Justin. Nice play. Now we really need the wow. What is happening, Magic Online? Just let me tap. Oh, yes, she is. I'm making it my life's goal at the moment to just play as much Atraxa as I can. She's so good. She draws a lot more cards here, or puts a lot more cards into your hand here than she does in other formats. So, all right. So my opponent, I still don't know if they're on Jewel Shops or if they're on Blue Shops. So I'm gonna. The good news is I can bring in Negation and Trap and Hercules, and they're all relatively good. I don't need Island. Don't really think I want Needle. I mean, I only want Sphinx if they're on Blue Shops. I guess I don't really need Sphinx. And then I can take out Fluster, Misstep, Top, maybe. Hard to say. Like, Fluster isn't that bad against Jewel Shops, but if I'm hedging, I guess it could still be aggro shops. That would be pretty surprising. The most common version, I think, of the non-combo shops right now is this like blue prison aggro hybrid. I think it's best to just trim on the cards that I know are going to be bad against shops. Even though like I like Misstep and Fluster a little bit against Jewel Shops, it probably makes sense to trade him for these cards, which are always going to be good against any of the three versions. Let's try this. They technically didn't show any identifying cards because Metamorph can be played in every version of shops. So it's Grim is right, of course. There it could still be aggro shops. You could even consider the blue shops variant that is being played right now aggro shops as well. So anyways. New commander card? What new commander card? I love a new commander card. Gimme, gimme, gimme. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Marcisi? The heck's a Marcisi? That's not new. That's 2019. When was it printed? It's been out for a long time. It's been CC. Okay, all right. True. I would love an old frame opal. That is something we do need in our lives. Ooh. Do I get a thing? I didn't see it. Oh. Yo. Thanks, goalie. I appreciate it. Thanks for the support. This hand has fast mana Saga Vault. God, this hand is like kind of bad if they're on Jewel though, right? I think this is like one of those Urza Saga trap hands. And if they're on aggro shops, Saga just gets wasted, and if they're on Jewel, we just die. So this hand can't be good. I think this hand is just bad. I'm a mulligan. Every time I've ever mulliganed like a medium 7, I've always hit a 0 land 6. I swear. I mean, I'm gonna have to keep this. We're on 5 now, right? Sad. I really don't think the first hand is good, especially if they're on Jewel. Yeah, they're on Jewel. Okay, cool. I mean, this hand is also not good for what it's worth. Oh my god, these draws are so bad. Just gonna keep this in hand. We are so dead. We're just so dead. My opponent is gonna kill us on turn 2, and we have absolutely nothing to show for it. Not much to say. Yep. Yup. I mean, I'm glad I didn't keep my opening hand for what it's worth. I guess I could have led on like Hercules the Monolith or something, but it's doomed. Oh, you don't know Vintage Staple Coveted Jewel? Thanks, Commander. Wow. It would sure be rough if they just put 4 or 5 Coveted Jewels in play this turn. Ooh, it's the cat. All right, get me out. All right. I do typically like to have Misstep in. They have some important 1-drops. I kind of think the Oath package is Garbo here. I don't really like the Oath package here, but there's not really that much in my sideboard that's better. Like, I could play 3 Flusterstorms, I guess. I just don't think Fluster is that good against them either. It's like a little sus to be oathing into Atraxa when my opponent can metamorph my Atraxa and then kill me. Kind of just looking for good PO hands. I think what I'll do is I will just... I will not be needling their jewels. That won't be happening. I think I can just trim on half of the Atraxa stuffs for a bunch of Flusterstorms. which is not great, but it's better than nothing. Maybe we keep a second top here because we're going for more combo-oriented game plan. I just don't think I want to be doing the Oath Atraxa thing very much. Maybe it's fine on the play. Maybe it's fine on the play. I don't know. Flusterstorm is just so medium, though. No, I would want to keep Journey if I was doing half of the Oaths. Maybe I just want to cut Saga in this matchup. It doesn't really do anything. I think Misstep is good against my opponent's deck. Ancestral Key, Top, Needle, Soul Ring Key. Okay, it's not great. It's not bad. I don't think it's bad. All right, whatever. I'm putting the top back out. Oh, wait. I can probably cut a land, right? I can probably trim a land here, actually. Yeah, that'll be fine. We're looking for, like, either a heavy PO hand. I have 12 lands in my deck, chat. This is this is half of the lands in my entire deck. All right. Sure. How do I... Yeah, my plan was actually to walk to start because having access to a second blue source is really important. So if I start with a walk and then I ancestral, I'm thinking about putting the negation to the bottom and just focusing on my game plan. Because I think my plan is Orchard, Ruby, walk, untap Ancestral. Well, the Orchards are not going to kill me in this matchup. It doesn't matter. It's going to be pretty irrelevant. Yeah, I think I am just going to be doing the jamming on this one. It's definitely on the riskier side of things, but I think it's okay. I think I'm just going to try to win. Yeah, I don't think that's unreasonable either. Ooh. No, I'm still doing the same play. I might lead on Vault here, though, to see if I can bait a misstep. Now, do I play around Mindbreak Trap? I don't think so. I'm not playing around anything. I think I'm just jamming everything. This matchup is not really about playing. It's about jamming. Unfortunately, here, we're actually in some deep shit because I did the jamming and I don't have a win. My PO for 3 did not result in another PO, which means my Ponder kind of has to hit Force. It's kind of the only thing can hit, right? Is there even something else it can hit? So if I take Opal, I can only take one of these, and I don't think any one of these does it, unfortunately. I guess my top could theoretically spin me one deeper and find a Force. There's no reason not to just spin now, right? Well, hopefully our opponent doesn't kill us on turn 1, because I should not have ordered that way. Oh well. I can't believe we fizzled there. I think if my opponent didn't have a force in their hand, that means we're probably going to die, but... So next turn we go Merchant PO, and then PO our board. And if something bad happens, we go Mystical Tinker and Tinker our board. So... Merchant, PO, Tinker, Mystical. Yeah, we have done just enough to do all that. We just have to hope we don't die. That's kind of what it is. We drew like 10 cards on our turn, and we didn't have a new force, so... Okay, Ancient Tomb's good. Mana Crypt's bad. Is this going to be Karn? That would be so bad for us. Karn is a nightmare. All right, so they have 5 mana even without a workshop. Is it a Mightstone? That's great. Awesome. Mightstone's super good for us. Mightstone is great for us. Oh my. We should win. Yeah. I think we just go Merchant PO and then Mystical Tinker. I think that's better. I mean, we're POing for 5 here with a blue card and extra mana, so... Or 6, I should say. I'm not tapping my top, though. So we are doing 5. No, top is key to our Mystical for Tinker line. I guess we could also spin, but... I don't have a land drop to give, though. Is that really better? I guess I could just Mystical... If I had played my land drop, I could have Mysticaled for Fluster and Flustered here. That might have been better. That was probably a mistake. Because we could lose this game pretty easily if I Sinker for a Citadel here. Maybe a huge misplay, then. No, we put the Fluster back in once we figured out which deck it was. Oh, wait. We didn't put any Flusters in. Oh, okay. Well, gonna do the line. I guess I could time... No, I can't time walk. What if I don't have anything in my yard to Yogwill? Okay. Do I only have Tinker? What if I Hercules myself? Doesn't do anything. What if I... Okay. I'm so bad at this game, chat. I have 12 lands in my deck! Maybe I should have just gone for the Tinker line first. I don't know. It's absolutely ridiculous for me to hit land here. It's so crazy, man. My variance is crazy. Maybe I should have fetched first so that I would have one less land in my deck. I mean, I could have fetched first, so maybe it's my fault. I could have one less land in my deck. It's doomed, chat. It's so doomed. What a joke. It doesn't matter. We just got Karned. we can't really beat a Karn, so. Yeah. I played bad. I played bad. It's my own fault. I go to 5. They can just stand up Karn. So I have to draw Hercules, maybe. Is that even good? We need to draw a Yogwill, probably. Even if we draw... We have Yogwill Time Walk. I just don't know if that does anything. How is this possible? Whatever. Okay. All right. Fine. Fine. Just get me out. Get me out. All right. Just starting from the beginning here. I think the line I take here is fine. Putting force back and just going for a win. I'm okay with this. Obviously, a line we can do is we can put Time Walk back and be Ancestral on their upkeep, which is not a bad line either. But I think it's just totally fine to not take negation. Like, the spells my opponent cast in this game, none of them we cared about. We just lost on the 3rd turn where we needed to win. I mean, we Ancestraled here, and then we PO'd for 3, which is... PO'd for 3 with no blue rock, obviously, but that's kind of something that happens when I take out one of the opals from the deck. PO'ing for 3 is typically the number you PO for. We drew what? Land, mystical land? No, wait. We drew mystical land, sapphire. Sapphire, obviously, great draw. And then this ponder hits top scroll. And we could, of course, shuffle here. I think that, in general, that's probably worse. It's fine. Well, I'm not trying to go off. I'm trying to ponder into Force of Will. I'm not trying to win the game off of this ponder. I'm trying to find a Force of Will and then set up a next turn. Like, I think my opponent with no Force of Will on their turn 1 has a chance of killing me on turn 1. So I'm trying to find Force, which is fine. This is fine. Like, obviously Nami's line of going Ancestral, putting back Walk is fine. That's not that could have changed somewhat. But, and I wouldn't have negated that anyways. So I would have maybe just had like an extra negation or something. So I'm just going into this turn with a Merchant Scroll and 1,000,000 mana, and I'm not winning the game is kind of unacceptable. We need to figure out how I was supposed to win this game here. From here, I have 6 colorless mana and 3 blue mana. So I have 9 mana. I also have a land drop. So I have 6 colorless mana and 4 blue mana. I mean, immediately my head went to Merchant for PO is 6 mana. Mystical for Tinker is 4 mana. That's a good use of 10 mana. Is there a better use of mana here? Merchant Scroll can get Force, and Merchant Scroll can get PO. Mystical can get Tinker, and maybe I just go Yogwill. Maybe I just Mystical Yogwill. But Mystical Yogwill loses to Force, because then I can't Merchant for Tinker. I think the biggest problem here is I just didn't put a Fluster in my deck, right? If I have a Fluster in my deck, then I can Merchant for Fluster and then Mystical for Tinker or Mystical for Yogwill and win the game. Yeah, it's just bad. It's bad sideboarding. Why don't I have I should always have a single Fluster in the deck to Merchant Scroll for. Okay, so under the knowledge that I misboarded and don't have a Fluster in my deck, is there a better line? Mystical for Tinker first is going to leave me with 2 less permanents to PO. It's so bad. It's impossibly bad. It's impossibly bad. There's always spinning, but that prevents me from doing 2 things. Like, what I could do is Merchant for Force. I could spin, look for something good, Merchant for Force if it's bad. Spin again, look for something good, fetch if it's bad. That's a possibility. Just turning my 2 cards. I just don't want to I'm trying to win the game this turn, not pass with force. But maybe that's better. Maybe that's better than tinkering with no land drop to give. Maybe I was supposed to not take Merchant Scroll, instead Mystical on my upkeep, go for Tinker, and then play a land, go for... Oh, I don't have Fluster in my deck. I mean, not having Fluster in my deck here just seems abysmal. I should have a Fluster in my deck. What was I thinking? I'm not really unhappy with the way I played this turn out, considering everything that happened. Like, I really think mostly, yeah, but just not having a Fluster in my deck is not real, because I'm playing Merchant Scroll, I'm playing Mystical. I should have a Fluster in my deck. Okay, all right. I don't think this play was bad. Obviously, it's extremely unlucky to hit a land. I should maybe have, of course, fetched, so that would be 1 less card that I could hit. Because from this situation, if I don't fetch, there are 7. We warded 2 lands out of our deck, so there are 7 lands I could hit. So if I fetch, there's only 6 lands I can hit. 6 lands in 46 cards or something, or sorry, 6 lands in... It'll be like 30 is something other card. It's like 40 cards or something like that. Yeah, 6 lands. It was 6 lands in 41. I don't know. It's super sad. We should have fetched, obviously. We should have fetched. That would have helped a little bit at least. Okay. Okay, let's try to come back. God, why? What are these hands? Well, we would beat Collector Roof. I almost want to keep this hand. It's not good enough, though. Like, my opponent is pretty likely to be on 4-color Deathrite Shaman. And this hand is super powerful. Like, super, super powerful. But I don't have that many blue sources in my deck. I have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Only 17 out of 53. It's probably just a mulligan. This hand is much better anyways, so... Probably just put a land back here. Vamp for force. Play Oath with Force backup, maybe. I don't really want to put a land back against the Wasteland deck. But if my opponent leads on Wasteland, it's fine. I just don't vamp. All right. We have a plan. One of the nice parts, actually, about this build is that PO gets punished pretty hard for mulliganing, but the Oath part actually negates some of the issues that it has via mulliganing, because you can mulligan low and still have a powerful draw. I don't remember the last time I like truly played PO Oath, but I believe it was pre-London Mulligan was the last time it was like a very strong deck. And I don't think it did that as well back then. Maybe that's not a true statement. But it's definitely nice that my mulligans can be better. It's definitely nice that my mulligans can be better than they normally would be with just a normal PO deck. That's true. I kind of wanted to hold up Fluster against Ancestral, but I kind of feel like my opponent's going to have Force with Fluster backup, unfortunately. Not a lot I can really do about that, though. If I were to pick Black Lotus, that might be better. So if I take Black Lotus and I cast Oath of Druids, Time Walk, and Flusterstorm backup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Because we're not beating Force Fluster anyways. And we actually don't get Pyroed here. Let's try that. They know my whole hand, so... All right, well, you have Force Fluster. They could also just Pyro our Atraxa, but I'll be pretty happy about that. All right, well, we laid our hand on the table. Do you have Force Fluster? They have First Fluster. Man. I think I like the way I played it. I mean, they could mess up their Fluster. This is true. I haven't looked at it. I don't really need to look at it. I just hit no and go to my next turn. Did we beat Force Fluster? No. How do we... No, I don't think so. Do we? Wait, what? My opponent messed up. Hold on. Did we beat Force Fluster if we didn't Time Walk? If we didn't Time Walk, we would have extra mana, and we would have Force Fluster. Yeah, maybe we did, actually. Yeah, maybe I threw it again. Why am I just playing horrible? I don't know, chat. I might not still win this game for what it's worth. We'll have to see what happens. Well, now I have a Yagwell, so we're gonna win this game. Do I take Citadel? Sure. Did I just get a 7-card Atraxa? Yes, I did. No, you're totally right. I just didn't need to do. I just made a horrible mistake again. Like, why would I lead on Time Walk there? Right? Like, I just beat Force Fluster by playing Black Lotus. Why am I getting halfway to the right conclusion every time? Atraxa giving me a full 7-card grip there, and quite nice. So I don't know for 100% what my opponent is on, but I'm going to make a logical assumption that they are on 4-color Deathrite Shaman based on their previous outings here. And the question becomes, oh, they don't even play Collector Oof. What is this, the freaking Yuta Takahashi version? Only a world champion's allowed to play this. Force of Vigor, 2x, Pyroblast, 3x. Oh, okay. It's just a Flusterstorm negation angle with... Do they have Beseiju? No Beseiju? These builds just confound me. Okay, we're gonna run like this, and we're gonna run down PO, down Opal, down Mystical, down PO. I don't want to play Vault Key here. Well, 2 Vigor? Yeah, let's just cut Vault Key as well. Maybe I don't. Like, I normally want to cut Volkey, but they just have so little things. I don't like this build. You have to be extremely good at Magic to win with this 4-color Deathrite Shaman build. Yuta plays a lot of Vintage, actually. Okay. I don't like this build at all. It doesn't have Beseiju, it doesn't have Collector Oof, it doesn't have all the cards that I think you really want from your green Deathrite Shaman deck. I sure hope they play a Deathrite Shaman or a Ragavan here on turn 1, too. Danzai. Nice. It's worth noting that Atraxa does kind of need to be a means to an end in terms of combo here. Oh, God. Because it's very easy for them to remove an Atraxa. They have Pyroblasts and Okos. No, our opponent misclicked Flusterstorm. So I made a misplay where I should never have played Time Walk first, and my opponent misclicked Flusterstorm, so we won anyways, but... Well, I would say I misplayed and my opponent misclicked, which I think are 2 very different things for what it's worth. Like, misclick is just a dexterity, mistake. Misplay is a mental problem. I mean, that's not the best description. I don't know. I think it's a severity level difference. Blip of mental stamina in round 2 of a tournament is not ideal. Oh baby, the desperate Ragavan. I don't have a memories journey anymore for what it's worth. I decided to pitch memories journey because I think that PO will be instrumental into for us comboing. So well, they hit Atraxa. So now we have one Atraxa left in our deck, and we don't know where it will be in our deck, and I don't have a memories journey to get back a Yogg-Will. So there's a very big chance I lose this game. Because I also cut Vault Key. Good lord. Well, let's see how lucky we are today with this Oath of Druids trigger. Judging by our past few games, I don't have the highest hopes for us. It depends. It depends on how far into this deck our single Atraxa is. Oh, you're right. We did board in Sphinx. Damn, you're right. Good job, past Justin. We have 2 creatures still. To be fair, both creatures could be at the bottom. I was joking. I was joking. It was a joke. Why are you like this? What the? Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna have to not take very many of these cards here. Oh my. All right. So if I take the top, and then I don't. If I take the top and I don't hit the 1 and 3, I can put the Sphinx on the top. Well, I actually can't put it into play. So I guess we just have to take nothing. If they have a Pyroblast before I can play a land, then we lose, probably, right? Yep. Awesome. Fantastic. I am the most unlucky Magic player that I have ever met in my entire life. They hit the Atraxa on the top of our library with the Ragavan, and then our next one of our 2 more Oath targets was 5th from the bottom. I need to stop playing Magic. I need to find a new game. I need to I don't know, man, become a Hades speedrunner or something. Just get me out of this game. So if I flip, even if I flip a Sphinx, I can't win. So what am I doing here? Let's just go next. If I had, instead of pitching Memories Journey, I had pitched Paradoxical Outcome, we could have probably still lost this game because Yogg-Will is not going to do it. No, we just don't have enough time. We're going to draw out. I just needed this second Atraxa to be, or the second creature to be anywhere not in the bottom like 5 cards. We were just drawing too many. I don't know if Yogg-Will would have won if we had Memories Journeyed it. It's possible. I don't know. I just these hands are so good too. Just need to draw that secondary Mox in here off this probe. Not Opal, not Opal, of course. I just felt like the percentage chance of needing the Memories Journey was so low, whereas the PO seemed like it would be kind of important to winning, especially if they had a Pyroblast. If I get Wastelanded, man, it's doomed. All right, see what happens. That's bad too, because it means they have Fluster or Pyro. All right, so here I actually think I'm supposed to cast Oko as a Pyro bait, or as a, well, Pyro bait is not ideal, but just as a counter bait, I think. I'm also going to make a food, hopefully, that I can tinker off of instead of the Sapphire. If it resolves, obviously. Okay, that's good. The bad sign about that is they might have Fluster now, is what they are kind of representing. If they played Island Go on turn 1 and then negated my Oko, it means they're likely not holding Pyro. If you had Pyro, you probably would be Pyroing the Oko. So it's likely that they have a Fluster in their hand. If we draw a land for turn, we can tinker and pay for one and fluster the force the other. But I agree. That's why I still put an Oko. Historically, I don't play Oko in POath, but I did want to include at least one. They didn't tap out. So I guess I could technically wait here and go and draw. I can probably wait on this vamp and go. If I go Lotus and Tinker, then I have 3 mana. So they would have to have Force plus another. I mean, they could tap out for a 3-drop Planeswalker. They're kind of unlikely to, though, seeing as they've been representing this the whole game. We could, of course, vamp for just Oath, which is totally reasonable here as well. I don't know. Do we trust Oath at this point in life? We also are going to be at 13, so Tinker is getting worse and worse. I guess we do have Sphinx in our deck technically as well. Okay, I think they have Fluster. My read is they just have a Fluster in their hand. All right, so... Oh, there's one of the 2 Vigors. So they have Vigor with Fluster backup, and we're not going to have something to tinker off of. I mean, it's a nightmare. It's basically just a huge nightmare. Oh, they had Pyro. Interesting. Okay. And then we're going to go down to 10. So we're going to have to tinker Sphinx probably. If they don't have a Fluster still anyways. Imagine if they Wasteland us from here. Monkey, sure. Okay, we do need to top deck a non-opal artifact that makes mana. They took a Tolarian Academy off our top. We're thankful. And they have to not have Flusterstorm. Looks like it's doomed. I feel like I've done a combination of like slightly misplayed and been horrendously on the bad side of the variances. That's an Oath of Druids. That would have been too late, so we didn't want an Oath of Druids anyways. So our best draw in our entire deck is Mana Crypt. Okay. I am so far off it, chat. I don't think I'm gonna play. I don't think I'm gonna stream anymore today. I thought I had a pretty cool deck set up, but small misplays and some rough variants makes me not feel super happy about continuing from here. So probably just gonna end the stream. I'm gonna do data and I'll be back some other time. Thanks for watching. Hopefully there was still something to be found in this content. New vintage videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I will see you then. Hey everyone, just a little bit of a post-tournament recap here. I did end up turning off the stream after that and ended up winning 4 straight matches with this deck off stream. I think I'm having a little bit of a problem while streaming and have a little bit of a mental block while streaming. Just not really hitting the right level of play to get the W's. So I'm gonna have to work on that. But I wanted to let people who are interested in this deck list know that it's more pilot error than than deck list issue here. So I did end up going 4-2 with this deck. Atraxa was absolutely phenomenal all day. Hardcaster a few times. Tinker was great. I found Vault Key even when my opponent had a cage in play. The only thing I would change from this list immediately would be cut this Saga. It was garbage. Never did anything, never useful. Just change it into some kind of catch-all removal spell, maybe a Repeal or an Assassin's Trophy, something like that, to give you answer to a couple more, hate permanents. I found myself like, oh crap, what do I do about this, Grafdigger's Cage? I did find a way to beat it, but it's nice to have a couple more answers in the 75. So that's it. Just wanted to put this update at the end just so that if someone is interested in this list, I of course link it down in the comments below, and definitely just another way you can play Atraxa. At this point, it feels like you can put Atraxa in any deck and you'll be able to succeed. I know that there's some talk in the Discord right now about a breach list, so maybe I'll work on that one next. I think it's kind of fun to have this really new, powerful standard card and highlight its playability in the Magic Solstice format. I'll see you next time.